Vice Mayor Mervin, yes.
Commissioner Boland, yes.
Commissioner Hill, yes.
Is Commissioner Everett on the line? Having heard a majority of the commissioners speak and affirm the procedures that we will be following, I will turn it back over to you at this time, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Again, this workshop of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee is being held by teleconference Zoom to discuss the May 26, 2020 agenda. At this time, I turn this portion over to our city manager to lead us in a discussion of the agenda topics.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Commission, thanks for joining us on teleconference tonight, and to our public, thanks for joining us tonight. Mayor, Commission, we have a short agenda. We have minutes and we have one resolution to the agenda and also a proclamation. Our resolution is Resolution 2020-14. This resolution is for MDO Engineering to prepare our scopes of work for anticipation of release of a invitation to bid for demolition of the old hospital on Barfield Highway. At this time, if there are any questions about this particular resolution, we'll take those questions at this time, Mayor, Commission.
Okay, before that, City Manager, since we're in a workshop, just give us a little background on the actual resolution and some of the language it pertained to.
Okay, this is a resolution to hire an engineer to assist the city in preparation for the scopes of work that will go into the IT bid that will be released to the public for demolition of the old hospital. We're requesting engineering services for the scope of work to also assist the city in the operation of this project ongoing once it's commenced. Well, after we select a particular vendor and once it commences, our engineer will be our consultant and our eyes and ears on this project to ensure whoever agrees with the city and is awarded the bid is able to successfully negotiate the work for the demolition of the old hospital. So in a nutshell, we're just agreeing to hire an engineer to assist in overseeing the demolition project once it commences, as well as develop the preliminary scope of work for the demolition project. And that language will go into the ITB bid to be released to the public.
Okay, thank you, City Manager. City Commission, at this time, are there any questions to the City Manager pertaining to Resolution 2020-14? Of course, this is just a workshop. We'll be voting on the actual resolution at our regular City Commission meeting following this workshop. But in the interim, are there any questions that need to be answered or clarified? Vice Mayor Mervin, any questions?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Boland, any
Not
questions?
at this time, no.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Hill, any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. City Attorney, any input on your behalf pertaining to the resolution? I know you will have input at our regular commission meeting, but just want to give you an opportunity at this time since it's basically the only thing on our agenda.
No, sir. The only thing that was changed, I believe, the contractor had some issues, or no, Commissioner Boland had a question about why the contractor had a 12%, if the issue was meaningless due to the fact that it was a capped amount, and we made sure to take that language out of the exhibit. So basically the contract is the same as the one that you saw a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Back to the city manager, are there any additional comments you'd like to make in reference to the resolution?
Yes, Mayor, I see a typo on Exhibit A, Scopes of Services. It should read ITB 2020-03. It actually says RFP 2020-01, but we'll correct that typo before this contract is signed by you.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, if there are no further questions pertaining to the resolution, which is the main item on our agenda, we'll move to the discussion, comments, and concern of the city commission at this time. Commissioner Hill, any discussion, comments, or concerns?
Not at this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Boland,
Not at this time.
thank you, ma'am. Vice Mayor Mervin,
Not at this time, Mayor.
thank you, ma'am. So at this time, having no further business brought before us during this workshop, I'll adjourn the workshop and we'll reconvene at approximately 6:30 p.m. sharp. Workshop adjourned. Just want to get a check, make sure everyone is back before we get the meeting started. City Attorney, are you there? City Manager, you online?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Bolden,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett, Vice Mayor Mervin,
I'm here.
okay. City Clerk, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. City Attorney, you there? Trying to get a City Attorney a few more minutes. So far, we're missing the City Attorney and Commissioner Everett, who I think will be joining us a little late.
I am in, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, great. Okay, seems like we got everybody on board except our Commissioner Everett, which hopefully will be joining us lately. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do a roll call, informal just one more time. City Attorney, are you ready?
I am.
City Manager, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
City Clerk, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Hill, are you ready?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started now. I call this City Commission of the City of Pahokee, regular commission meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2006 at 6:33 p.m. to order. May we please have the invocation given by Vice Mayor Mervin, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour, asking for your blessings and help us as we gather here together, even on technology tonight. We pray for your guidance in the matter at hand and ask you that you will clearly show us how to conduct our work with your spirit and with the spirit of joy and enthusiasm. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
Republic
for which it
for which
which
it
stands,
stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
with liberty and justice for all.
all.
Amen.
Thank you. At this time, I'll have the City Attorney read into the minutes guidance, instruction, and protocol for this virtual town hall commission meeting.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, pursuant to Executive Order number 20-69, issued by Office of the Governor Ron DeSantis on March 20th, 2020, municipalities may conduct meetings of their governing boards without having a quorum of its members present physically or at any specific location and utilizing communications media technologies such as telephonic or video conferencing as provided by Section 120.545B2 Florida statutes. The members of the City Commission appearing remotely for this meeting tonight are Commissioner Boland, Commissioner Everett, Commissioner Hill, Vice Mayor Mervin, and Mayor Babb. Members of the City Commission, this is a virtual meeting, and when you are not speaking, please mute your Zoom button so that you have the highest quality available and we can produce an accurate record. Please indicate to the mayor when you desire to speak. The public was given an opportunity to speak up until 6:30 by emailing the city clerk at cityclerk@cityofpahokee.com. Any comments will be read into the record at the appropriate time. Commissioners, are you comfortable? And you can all just state at one time, it's not necessary for a roll call vote. Are you comfortable with the virtual meeting and these instructions that have been given?
Yes.
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 Hearing so, Mayor, the meeting is turned back over to you for going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam City Attorney. thank each of you all as city commissioners and our listening audience for participating in our regular commission meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2020 by teleconference. At this time, we'll move into the additions, deletions, and approval of agenda items. City manager, at this time, do we have in addition to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, we have a proclamation honoring the 2020 class for Pahokee High School as an addition tonight.
Okay.
Excuse me,
Thank you.
Mayor Bab.
Yes,
Excuse me, Mayor Bab. Are we doing the roll call?
yes, I'm sorry. Let's do the roll call. Madam City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Bab,
Here.
Commissioner Boland,
Here.
Commissioner Everett, Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Present.
City Manager,
Here.
City Attorney,
Here.
Interim City Clerk here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. At this time, if there are no additions to the agenda as presented, with only the addition of a proclamation honoring a class of 2020 graduates, I'll entertain a motion for the adoption of the agenda with the one add-on.
Mayor Bab, I'd like to motion that we will accept the agenda Tuesday, May 26th with the add-on a proclamation for the 2020 graduates.
Thank you. Could I get a second? Can we have a second?
I'll second.
A second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Bolden that we adopt the agenda as presented with the add-on of honoring a proclamation honoring.
That wasn't me. That was Felicia.
Okay, both sound like the same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Second by Commissioner Hill to accept the agenda as presented with the addition of an add-on proclamation honoring the class of 2020 graduates. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes, yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett, Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passes to approve the agenda items with the add-on by a unanimous 4-0 vote. Now we'll move to our public citizen comments, public service announcements, agenda items. We're gonna read those comments into the minutes. I'd just like to note for the record, we won't be reading any offensive language, cursing words, or racial rants for the record. If those comments was made during a regular commission meeting, the person would be out of order, asked to stop or leave. So those items won't be read, but any other comments will be read into the minutes portion of. At this time, City Clerk, have you received any public comments from our citizens?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have 10 comments.
Okay, you may
Yes. Comment
may
number
read-
one- Yes, sir.
okay.
Comment number 1 from Mark Miller. Mr. Mark Miller had a question about April 28th meeting that he sent an unanswered email or comment, which I'm gonna read it. Mr. Mark Miller, April 28th comment. The cameras in the marina have been inoperative for nearly a year due to lightning strike. When do you expect them to be replaced? Mr. Mark Miller, for the record, he lives at 190 North Lake Avenue, Pahokee, Florida. Comment number 2, Sam McKinstry. Mr. McKinstry has 4 questions. Question number 1 is, why is the commission continuing to cancel public in-person meetings when the shelter-in-place order was lifted by the governor? Number 2, why were the flags on the dike federal maintaining not lowered to half-mast as ordered by President Trump? Number 3, where are the results of the $2.2 million in state funds for the restoration of the marina and campground? Where is the money? Number 4, I want these questions added to the minutes of the meeting to be held Tuesday, May 26, 2020. Mr. Sam McKinstry. Comment number 3. Comment number 3 is from Jill Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher has first comment, introductions is, I have 2 comments, questions that I would like to read at the meeting and be read into the minutes of the meeting. Number 8, electrical bill. Will this be passed on to the campers in the campground? Number 2, why are the campers at the campground being charged 18 cents per kilowatt instead of 12 cents that FPL charges? This creates a hardship for many campers. Comment number 4 from Mrs. Dabro, Mary Dabro, 7 Lakeside Circle, Pahokee, Florida. Her comment number 1 or question number 1, is there an RFP out for city clerk? And if so, how many inquiries do we have? Number 2, since my FOIA request has been in the hands of the correct departments since October 2019 per Nylene Clark, former city clerk, when can I expect to receive them? Number 3, what if any conversation has taken place with ERH LLC since previous meeting? When will a transition take place since they were approved by the state on December the 3rd of 2019? According to the contract, transition is to take place 30 days after upon approval of state. Are we going to miss another year season? Question. The number 4, last but not least, why can we not seem to get the flagpole fixed? That flies our great American flag. Number 5, Mr. Mayor, what is the status of the lawsuit with Emilio Perez? Did the city manager's award of the garbage contract? Mr. Mayor, on what exact date was the city of Pahokee website taken down in order to make it ADA compliant? And what is the name of the company responsible for updating the website? What was the cost associated with the website updating? Number 7, do you think being offline for well over a year is a reasonable period of time? Or was this an excuse of the city manager / city commission to keep important city information access from the citizens? Number 5, comment number 5 is from Ms. Joanne Culverson. Her questions on concern, she kind of typed into the email, memo part or reference, and not everything that she might have typed came through. The only thing I could see is that Ms. Culverson lives at 1621 East Main Street, Pahokee, Florida, and she provided her phone number as well. And next to it, there's, and TR, period, period, period. So for the record, that is everything that came through on her email, nothing else. Comment number 6, Ms. Barbara Hatton. She lives at 2316 Bacon Point Road in Pahokee, Florida. I am requesting my questions, comments to be read into the 5/26/2020 meeting minutes of record. Mayor Babb, how come 3 of the city commissioners, Commissioner Everett, Vice Mayor Mervin, and Mayor Babb, voted together to fire our long-term city attorney, Gary Brandenburg, supposed to leave for dealing with Emilio Perez for cleanup of Everglades Memorial Hospital property, and then vote to award the garbage contract to Emilio Perez? Question. I recall that the city attorney handed to each commissioner a copy of the report prior to the start of the commission, the Freedom of Information Act, a copy of the city attorney's report of Chandler Williamson. Our city manager be provided to me. I am requesting my questions and comments to be read into the May 26, 2020 meeting minutes of records. Comment number 7 from David Dixon. I request under the Sunshine Law of the state of Florida that my entire comments and questions stated below be read out loud, clearly, and in its entirety, and that it be noted in the record. My name is David C. Dixon. I reside at 190 North Lake Avenue, Pahokee, Florida. My questions and statements are as follows. Number 1, how come 3 commissioners, Babb, Mervin, and Everett, 3, voted together to fire a long time? Pretty much the same thing on our prior comment, but I will read it into the record, Mr. Mayor, if that's what you would like me to do. It's pretty much the same, but I will continue. Supposedly for dealing with for the cleanup of the hospital property, and then vote for the hiring of Mr. Perez for the garbage pickup truck contract. What is the status? That's the number 2. What is the status of the lawsuit with Emilio Perez? Did the city manager's award involve any settlement agreement? Number 3, was that the real reason for the firing of the city attorney, or was it something much more sinister? The report, the city attorney was moments away from reading into the public to both the city commission and press. That was a question. I recall the city attorney handing each commissioner a copy of the report prior to the start of the meeting, and I am hereby requesting, pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act, a copy of the city attorney's report of Chandler Williamson, the city manager, be provided to me. Prior to the night of the firing of Gary Brandenburg, that's number 4, has the current city attorney ever attended a City of Pahokee commission meeting? Respectfully, Mr. David Dixon. Comment number 8. This was redacted to some language, and there's some blanks in between, but I'm going to read it into the records as it is redacted. This is Larry Wright comments. You guys suck. Do I have your attention? Well, I will say it anyway. I have spent many Pahokee on untold numbers of projects. I was awarded with Citizen of the Year for my work daily to urge people to use our gold mine, the lakefront, for all it is worth. It's not just a place that has the potential, as always, to be the catalyst for the rebirth of Pahokee. Now, I know many of you hate the fact that so many white people have ruled Pahokee. Your racist attitude is on full display. Your refusal to address any of our comments is disgusting. Let's talk about the lakefront I know that we used to use the lakefront far better than now. Heck, I ran the Grassy Waters Festival several years, and the last year we had 6,000 people attend. When the city ran the lakefront, we had so many campers that we always used the overflow. The city manager at the time told me that we made enough from the lakefront that it paid the entire payroll for the city hall. We even had a yearly fee for the campers. Just think about it. Those campers spent their money in town. Two people ran that business, Susie and Henry. They're trying to open the marina and restaurant for 3 years. Thank God they are hanging though. The problem is the needs to be said. The first month Chandler came to Pahokee, I made an appointment with him to let him know my involvement in town. Wanted to tell him about my work with old PHS and other projects. He didn't want to waste his precious time listening to a mere citizen. It is obvious they hate we whites. All you have to do is watch what they destroy. Anything we made, they destroy. I suppose our old history, some of our forefathers were not too nice to them, but this is 2020. Wake up. I am disgusted knowing some of the people I work with and for never treating any way but respect. Now look at me with racist hate. All you need for truth is to see the bracelets they wear. They are not just jewelry. I have one comment. Get off your lazy, racist blank and work for a better Pahokee. Our future is right in front of your eyes. I know you're not stupid, but your racist hatred is killing us all. Stop lying and reopen the restaurant. Blank. Oops, I forgot you. Don't any of those rich white folks here. Blank. Yes, a commissioner said that to me. You only have one commissioner who actually works for Pahokee. Blank. Thank you, Regina. Number 9. This is from Faye Niemer. Good evening, respected Mayor and Commissioners. As a new City of Pahokee resident for the past 2 months, I have been attempting to resolve a matter with the City of Pahokee and have yet to reach a solution or resolution. It has been impossible to get a response from Mr. Williamson. I have attempted to reach him via email, phone, and have left multiple messages with staff members asking him to provide a way forward. In addition, I drove to City Hall on Wednesday, April the 1st, and I was told that due to an executive mandate, the establishment is practicing no contact with the public. I headed the notification and asked Ms. Adams to have Mr. Williamson simply return my phone call. Unfortunately, I stood outside City Hall for 3.5 hours waiting for Mr. Williamson's phone call, and he never called me to discuss the situation. Residents are welcome to the City of Pahokee. I sincerely hope that this is not the case. To give you context, I recently purchased a small apartment for my 72-year-old mother who intended to retire from Michigan in the City of Pahokee. With the church being next to the lakeside apartments, I figured it would be an amicable arrangement for her. However, to my dismay, based on subsequent inspection, the apartment is uninhabitable and will require extensive renovation. Please reference to attached images of the apartment. Further, a matter that pertains to Mr. Williamson relates to the city fees that have been assessed on the property. The city has been charging garbage recycling pickup fees for over 2 years, while the former owner, Mr. Wilkinson, has been deceased. Based on a conversation with Connie at the Palm Beach County Water Utility Department, she indicated that there has been zero water usage for over 30 consecutive months. They were waiting on a decision from Mr. Williamson to adjust the account, but he has not returned any communications to discuss this matter. That said, it is truly unfair to bear the brunt of charges for services that were never utilized. The unit has been vacant for over 2 years and no one has been benefiting from this city services. Below, please find a breakdown of the bill amounting to $2,399.78, out of which only $1,650 is for actual water usage for 1 month in October of 2017, followed by 30 months of zero usage. The rest of the bill consists of about $800 for the city of Pahokee fees for garbage pickup, approximately $1,200 for county fees, and almost $350 for late delinquent fees. To address the county fees, I will be appearing in front of the Administrative Hearing Board in order to get the county fees waived. Today, I am asking your approval of adjusting the city of Pahokee delinquent fees of $348.27. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, but the letter goes on and on to another page.
Yeah, that's fine. We want to cut it off at 3 minutes, not being disrespectful, but we want to keep the same protocol we use in regular commission meeting. They normally have 3 minutes to address the commission. We would include the remainder of her letter as official records of the minutes, but we won't continue to read the entire letter since it is lengthy.
Yes, and additionally, Ms. Niemer has provided pictures of the vacant apartment as well, along with this letter or email.
Okay.
Which is like probably more than 4 or 5 pages. So would you like for me to continue? I believe I have
No,
more.
at this time, we would end that public comment since it exceeds 3 minutes. I actually went over the 3 minutes, but we wanted to be courteous as we can. We don't have a very long agenda, but we do have the gist of the letter. The entire letter will be part of our minutes, but at this time, we will conclude with our public comments. That was the last comment, citizen comment.
No, sir. I have a comment number 10.
Okay.
Sent by Ms. Metra Hughes. I, Metra Hughes, request under the Sunshine Law of the state of Florida that my entire comments and questions stated below be read aloud clearly and in its entirety, and that it is noted into the record. My name is Metra Hughes. I live at 1897 Bacon Point Road, Pahokee, Florida, 33476. My comments and question statements is as follows. We understand that the city manager hired an engineering firm out of Okeechobee to oversee the demolition of the old city hall. Was that in the original budget, and was their services put up for an RFP? That's question number 1. Number 2, what was the name of the engineering firm and how much would they have been paid at the completion of the contract? Demolition contract. Number 4, what is the name of the engineering firm and have they done work for the city of Pahokee previously and or any of the city's contractors on previous granted funded projects? Number 5, Mr. Mayor, what are the results of the commissioner's formal evaluation of the city manager? Do you intend to terminate him? Number 6, Mr. Mayor, when will the results of the most recent Inspector General report on the city manager be available for review by the citizens of Pahokee, the same citizens that voted you into the office? Number 7, Mr. Mayor, is the city of Pahokee splash pad now fully operational? Number 8, Mr. Mayor, can you please give us an overview of the city's current financial situation? Number 9, Mr. Mayor, we have heard of numerous complaints regarding the city's failure to respond to the Freedom of Information Act requests as required under the Florida 02 that have been outstanding for many months, long before the departure of the previous city clerk and well prior to any complications from COVID-19. What it is your intention as to fulfilling these requests, and what disciplinary actions do you as a commission intend to take against the city manager for this lack of response to us concerned citizens? Thank you, Metra Hughes. And that is the last one of the comments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, City Clerk, for reading those comments into the record. Now we'll move to approve of the minutes. We have not available the April 28th, 2020 workshop minutes. And there are no minutes available for the April 28th, 2020 regular scheduled commission meeting minutes. We don't have any consent agenda items, no ordinances. We do have a resolution, Resolution 2020-14, City Attorney. City Attorney, are you there?
I thought that I had unmuted. I will read it again, Mr. Mayor. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving an agreement between MDO Engineering, Inc. and the City of Pahokee for engineering services for the demolition of the old hospital attached hereto as Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief background on Resolution 2020-14?
Yes, Mayor Commission, this is a resolution to enter into an agreement with MDO Engineering to prepare a bid, or ITB bid for the old hospital. These engineering services would include the engineer be on site at least twice within the week to observe the work. It includes developing the scope of work for the ITB bid. It also includes inspection of the work ongoing. It includes final inspection and certificate of completion of work and all other requirements on the engineering services for this project.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commission, having had Resolution 2020-14 properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, and having had Resolution 2020-14 properly summarized by our City Manager, what is your pleasure?
Mayor, I make a motion that we will accept Resolution 2020-14.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Who did the second?
Commissioner Hill.
Thank you. It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Hill for the adoption of Resolution 2020-14. Call for questions.
I have a couple. This is Commissioner Boland.
Commissioner Boland, you have the floor.
Thank you. This is for the city, I guess the city attorney, I'm not sure, or the city manager. This contract is for $15,000. Is this the same group that we hired for the old city hall demolition? The engineer? City manager?
Yes.
Okay. And my question, I guess, is that building, we paid them $26,000 to do that building. Why is this one so cheap?
Commissioner Boland, I don't reboot cheap, but to be honest with you, you would have to actually engineer that. That's his cost. We only presented what needed to be done as far as a scope of work for 200 Barfield Highway. And he came back with this would be his cost for that scope of work and for his services. Can't tell you why he went lower at this point in time. I'd have to go and ask him that question and bring that information back to you.
Makes me think we overpaid for the other one. On the professional services agreement, professional engineering inspection and consulting services, it says that in connection with cities, and I know you said that's going to be changed, the 2020-03 for general contract demolition services for the old hospital and the resulting contract, the demolition contract. Are they going to help us do the demolition contract as well?
Commissioner Boland, what the engineer does is he goes on site, gets all the plans of the hospital. He then develops a scope of work that goes into the ITB bid for scope of work for review by potential bidders. That's his part. That's his responsibility as it pertains to the ITB bid administratively.
Okay. And under Article 4, it says the city will furnish the consultant with all approvals, permits, and consents from government authorities. That's 4.1.3 and 4.1.5 environmental assessment and impact statements. And then 4.1.9 approvals and permits, and the required at the city's jurisdiction and those from outside agencies. Are we paying for all of this?
No, we're not. And
Okay,
the
how are
engineer
we
doesn't-
gonna
and the
do, is
engineer
this
doesn't
something
need
that we
permits.
have?
No, that's just a part of the language in the city's responsibility, but the engineer doesn't need permits to do the scope of work for the city of Pahokee or do his services to the city. So there are no permits that will be purchased by the city, and the engineer doesn't require to have any permits be issued from the city to him.
Okay. So we're not gonna get where it comes back and we have to pay more because he got into it and realized that it costs more?
No, ma'am, this is the agreement for $15,000.
Okay, and I truly feel like we got ripped off on the old city hall because that building is not nearly as big. This is 66,000 square foot. That building was way smaller and a lot less. I don't feel comfortable with this at all. Either something's not right here. That doesn't make any sense to me as a business person.
Any other commissioner have any questions they need answered or clarified? Okay. You was able to get your question and concern out, Commissioner Bowden?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, since there are no additional questions, we do have a motion and a second on the floor. Are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes, I'm sorry.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
No.
Commissioner Everett, Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by majority, 3-1 vote. We don't have any public hearings. We do have an add-on proclamation honoring the class of 2020 graduates. City Attorney, if you have that, may you read the proclamation into the record for us.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the Pahokee High School graduating class of the year 2020 has experienced the dramatic interruption of their educational and social lives due to the novel coronavirus health emergency. And whereas the graduating seniors in the Pahokee High School class of 2020 deserve their achievements to be recognized by people within their communities and beyond. And whereas this year's graduating class contains students who have achieved to their utmost in academics, agriculture, athletics, business, engineering, theater, and music programs, and more. And whereas the government of the city of Pahokee is exceedingly proud to acknowledge and support the future success of the 2020 graduating class of Pahokee High School, let it be proclaimed, I, Keith W. Babb, as mayor of the City of Commission by virtue of the authority vested, acknowledged that this class of students has excelled despite the enormous challenges set before them. Hereby, this class is worthy of great commendation for their family, friends, and community. On behalf of the City of Pahokee, we wish them the absolute best in all of their future efforts and endeavors, and thereby proclaim May 22nd, 2020 as Pahokee High School Graduating Class of 2020 Day. Done this 22nd day of May 2020, Mayor Keith Babb, Vice Mayor Clara Mervin, Commissioners Regina Boland, Commissioner Benny Everett, and Commissioner Alicia Hill.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Commissioners, having had the proclamation properly read into the minutes, what is your pleasure?
Mayor,
Mr.
I'd
Mayor,
like to
I'd
make a
like to-
motion that we will accept,
Motion.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the proclamation 2020 class of Pahokee High School.
I'll second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Bowden and properly second by Commissioner Hill for the adoption of proclamation honoring.
Second by Vice Mayor Mervin.
Okay. Second by Vice Mayor Mervin. Honoring the Pahokee High School class of 2020 graduates. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett, Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Mayor Babb.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Proclamation passes by a unanimous 4-0 vote. Now we'll move to we don't have any presentations. We're moving to the mayor's report, which would be brief. I just pray that all continue to be well and that we are all staying safe and out of harm's way. I know everyone aware that we're dealing with a pandemic that's consuming a lot of the city's time, city staff time, and the community concerns and time. This is a deadly virus that has and continue to be our top priority of the safety and well-being of all of our residents. Last month, one death occurred every 40 seconds in the United States from COVID-19. And as Florida and other states begin to slowly reopen, we must continue to do our part to reduce and slow the spread of this deadly virus. We must continue practicing social distancing, staying at least 6 feet away from each other, wearing face masks when in public, and practicing good personal hygiene, such as frequent hand washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, and avoiding large gatherings, social gatherings, large crowds as much as possible. These efforts will assist in protecting this community. I strongly encourage everyone to be tested. We have a testing site at Lakeside Medical Center where you can walk in and receive a test. We have the Florida Healthcare Center right here in Pahokee that doing daily testing Monday through Friday that you can drive up to or walk up to and receive a test. The city and I have been in contact with United Clinical Laboratory out of West Palm Beach, exploring the possibility of them doing testing on a weekly basis here at Pahokee on Wednesday. It's an OR test, which is a lot less convenient than the normal test that's been occurring. So hopefully more people will be more induced to receive a test. It is expected that these testing will begin next Wednesday. We want to finalize that. We're having a meeting with them tomorrow to look at some sites. One of the sites we're looking at is Martin Luther King Park. We also will be looking at Commissioner Park and our rec department for as the location is concerned. So I just want to encourage folks that testing is not a cure. There are no known medications for this virus, but it does allow you to know your status so you can not only protect your family, but protect the community, that you won't go out when you're sick. So we're just hopeful, and we know that because of testing, there will be an increase of confirmed cases, and that's okay. We can deal with that. We know they're out there, but it's good to know our status. So we just want to encourage you to do that. There have been a lot of conversation on social media concerning our Pahokee High School graduates. Today, we provided a proclamation honoring those graduates for their hard work and effort during these challenging times. We would certainly like to do more, but at this time, we are not able to because of the social distancing guideline. City manager has spoken with Palm Beach County Sheriff Department to see if they would agree to having a parade with vehicles. We spoke with our school board rep, Marsha Andrews, to get their input from the school board, and they all are really discouraging those type of activities. Not that they're not wanted, not that they're not welcome, but just for public safety of our children. And even though our children may not be as ill once they catch this virus as the adults, they live with adults. And a lot of their adults are having some underlying medical issue that they, if they would catch this virus, would be more severely affected about this. So we're going to do what we can to honor them and recognize their accomplishment without compromising their safety. That would conclude the mayor's report. Now we will move to our city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor, Commission, residents, citizens. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mayor, I don't have much for a report. We have several projects that are ongoing in the city, and we're excited to see those projects continue and come to an end soon as we begin to start our summer projects. Some have been long anticipated to start here. So we're looking forward to those projects coming online. There's a lot going on. If you actually just take an opportunity to drive around town, there's some things that have not occurred here before that will be occurring or are occurring. So we're just excited about our projects. I sent an update on, I think, May 12th about all of our current projects and future projects. And it sort of gives you a window into what we've been able to do financially here for this city. Some may say we need to do more, and we do need to do more, and we will. But right now is an opportunity to celebrate some of the projects that we've been able to do and are doing. And I just look forward to coming back and giving another update maybe mid-June on some of these projects as we begin to roll out some additional bids, specifically, hopefully the one for Barfield Highway and a couple of other projects that we've had on the table. We're just moving forward. We can't focus on just sitting still. We're moving forward and try to get some more things achieved here for the city of Pahokee. We realize a lot of what we're doing is a foundation, and it sets us up for some future development. We know this wasn't going to be done overnight, and it's taken quite some time to get some of these projects online and to get them completed, actually. But you know, patience is a virtue here, and we realize we weren't able to solve everything overnight, but we're getting to a place where we can continue to promote the city of Pahokee in a more positive light, despite some of the things we do read sometimes. We focus on moving forward and leaning forward, and hopefully bringing this city into a new position here fairly soon. There's a lot to talk about as far as the marina, the current lease that we hopefully will discuss here in the coming meetings. I have spoken with that investment group, and we hope to bring them, to the table here, to the commission on a discussion here that will move us forward at the blessings of the commission or at the agreement of what we want to do for the marina. There's been a lot of questions about that. But again, we've been in touch with the investment group. Just spoke to them today, actually, and we're looking forward to having a conversation with them so we can look for the future for the city of Pahokee. But again, Mayor, we do have some projects ongoing right now that are wonderful. The gymnasium, the demolition of the old city hall. For the record, we did preserve any records that were in that city hall. Actually, there was none in there except in the safe. And we did remove all of those things. I know that was a conversation on social media. But again, we're looking forward to some future projects here coming down the pipe. And we're excited about what those projects are going to do for the city of Pahokee. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager. I do have one question to ask of you, just as far as an update. I know for the last 2 months or so since the pandemic began to hit home and we went into emergency declaration, our staff have been on an amended schedule just for information purposes and so that the listening public will be aware. What is an amended schedule? Are the staff having to work, come in early, leave, come in late or leave early, having a day off here or there? I know we're working, we're still open for public business. We don't have the ability at this time to do face-to-face. And when would that probably, you think that may be occurring? But what is a typical day for our staff?
Okay, Mayor, thank you. It depends on what department. For example, let's take the finance department. At least once a week, that staff will have a day off. All staff start their day typically either 8 or 8:30. And then most staff in that department begin to exit the building between 3:30 and 5 o'clock. So you have someone in that department throughout the entire day. We're doing that and alternating the staff who gets to go home early because of child issues. As you're aware, all the kids have been out of school, so there's no after-school programs occurring. So we try to shift each day, each department, each staff, the time they're going home early and the time they're coming in. But typically, all staff are coming in at 8 o'clock or 8:30, and typically staff are then being sent home between 3:30 and 5 o'clock. We're working 5 days a week. The building is not closed. There's been no interruption services. What we have done is we've advised all residents and citizens that if you need to see a department for us like paperwork or documents, call first. We may be able to answer your questions over the phone or via email. You can also email us your documents, or if you have to bring the document in, they're at the lobby area at the door, and then they're then processed. If we have any additional questions, that resident or citizen is then told that we will call them back, or we'll communicate through email as well. We haven't had any interruption of services to the community as far as that is concerned in all of the departments.
Okay, thank you. At this time, are there any commissioners who have any questions for the city manager as far as his report? Okay, thank you, city manager. Hearing none, we'll move to our city attorney report. Hello, everybody there?
Yes.
Okay, city attorney. May have lost his city attorney. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, city attorney was asking for your report if you had any.
No, sir, I don't have a report. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to old business, which we don't have any old business to discuss. There's no new business on the agenda. For the future agenda items of commissioners, we'll take any consideration that would be put forth. And we'll start with our Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Hill, do you have any suggested future agenda items you would like to add to the agenda?
Not at this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Bowden.
Yes, sir. I'd like to put on the agenda the IG letter that we received. I'd like to put that on for discussion.
Okay. Could we get a second on that from anyone if they so desire? Okay. Found a lack of a second. I know that's, well, we're going to move on. I'll discuss that at some point, though. We don't have a motion or a second for that. So we'll move Commissioner Bowden to another item if you have.
The city clerk, the resumes, have we received resumes? And if so, when can the commission get it? Can we
Okay.
see it?
City manager can answer that question there from the receipt of resumes, and when can the city commission expect to look at those resumes? Have a copy of them.
Yeah, I sent that question on to Human Resources last week. She hasn't responded back yet. I did have, as I mentioned before in the last meeting, we do have some options to appoint an interim. I haven't made a recommendation on interim, but we are collecting resumes. But I'll have more information on that at the next commission meeting. I might have it before the next commission meeting, and if I do that, I'll provide you that information from Human Resources.
Okay, thank you. Any additional requests, Commissioner Bowden?
Yes, sir. He said that, I'm sorry, the city manager said that we were going to discuss the marina lease. So can we put that on the next commission meeting?
That's already titled to be on the next meeting, Commissioner Bowden.
Okay. And then can we discuss why we're not doing video when everybody else in the world is doing video for these meetings?
I don't know if the IT person online, but I think that can be accomplished, that we can have live Zoom videos in the future. We can certainly try that. I kind of spoke on that prior to this particular meeting with the IT. At a minimum, pictures of something that make people know who they looking at and who's speaking. So we'll
Yeah, I
definitely.
think it would help because this evening, it's very confusing. I know a lot of us sound alike. And
Right,
unless we're announcing who we are before we speak, and sometimes you forget to do that. So
right.
I think it would be very, very helpful.
Okay.
And then what about, can we discuss the website and why it is not up? People are calling me every day, and I'm sure the other commissioners are getting the same. What's the holdup? How much are we paying for this thing? It's been a year. Must be about $1 million now.
No, maybe even the city attorney could talk on that. I know the website have to be ADA compliance, and that's extremely costly sometimes. If a person who's blind or a person who's deaf, they got to be able to access that information that we post on that website. I'm not sure how some of these other cities are getting around that, but it's not an inexpensive task, but that's something that's still remain high on our agenda to have the access that we could have a website. But what we try to do in the meantime is try to put as much information out on our social media page, which is Facebook, which probably about 95% of the people review and look at anyway. I think we just have to do a better job in getting more information as it pertains to city business out there as we've been putting in the past, though. But I'm not sure if the city manager want to kind of speak on that and see where we are on that as far as getting the website back up and running.
Mr. Mayor?
This is
Yes,
future
ma'am.
agenda items.
Okay,
Okay.
I can't speak on the, for the status of it or where it is, but I will say that you certainly hit the nail on the head when you said that, there are lawsuits. There are a lot of lawsuits that are pending in different cities regarding ADA compliance issues. What a particular person did was just sue a whole lot of cities within the state by just going to the websites. And I think that whatever the manager has been doing, I know that he's been trying to be very careful with how he rolls it out to make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for a lawsuit. It has to be maintained in a certain way. Some of those cases are being settled right now, and the settlement agreements sort of speak to some things that have been considered acceptable for ADA compliance issues. And so it can be costly. I don't know what the, I don't know what the cost is. That's your manager will have to speak to that, but I do know that it is deemed to be costly for some much larger cities than Pahokee. And so I think that's probably why your manager is trying to proceed with caution. But with that, I think Mr. Manager said that he does have it as an agenda item on under his report.
Okay.
So do I
Okay,
need
so
a second to get it on for discussion? Because I think if this group that we've hired is not getting it up and getting it running in a year's time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
okay. City manager, did you plan to have that on our next agenda item, or that was a future agenda item?
This is future agenda items of the commission. You're welcome to put that on the agenda. I don't think you're going to need it in 2 weeks, but you're welcome to put it on the agenda.
Okay, could we get another commissioner second on that if that's the desire to have it on the next agenda item?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Bojan and a properly second by Vice Mayor Mervin to add to our next agenda item, the website. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk. Are you there, Madam Clerk?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett, Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. Motion passes by a majority of 4-0 vote. Okay. At this time, we'll move to our Vice Mayor to see if she have any future agenda items for consideration.
No, I don't, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to for the good of the order, community events, feel good announcement. And I'm gonna quickly just start before I go around and ask the commissioners. This month, we had 2 seniors that had birthdays. Anna Mae Wallace, 96 years old. Eva Mae Hill, 94. It would just be my recommendation and request to this commission for future consideration if we do proclamations, resolution, or certificates for our seniors that reach 90 and above at least. I know we can cut off at any number. I think 9 is a great number. At least it won't put too much burden on staff to do it. We may end up missing someone here or there, but I think we need to try to identify as much as possible, whenever possible, seniors who have birthdays at 90 and plus, that we just recognize them at a minimum with a certificate. And I think that's something we can do readily inexpensive, but give them honor while they're still here, our pioneers.
Second that.
Okay, so we're gonna start that for future birthdays, and if I can even get a motion to honor these 2 individuals with at least a certificate from the commission recognizing their birthday and hoping that they had a wonderful birthday celebration.
I'd like to make a motion from here on to recognize our senior citizens ages, I guess, 90 plus, including the 2 senior citizens that we have birthdays now. So I hope that's correct, but I'd like to make a motion that we serve those senior citizens with certificates recognizing their birthdays.
Second.
Thank you. Who made the second?
Regina.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Hill and properly second by Commissioner Bowden that we recognize our seniors' birthdays from 90 years plus on a regular basis. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Everett, Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now move to the city commissioners, community events, feel good announcements. And we'll start with Commissioner Hill.
What are we doing now, Mayor Pat?
It's your feel good events and feel good announcement. Anything that happened that you just like to kind of highlight and recognize, maybe a job well done.
Right now, my brain is not. I'm just happy that I'm not. I haven't been diagnosed with COVID-19 right now.
Okay, I'll put 2 in for you though. I know we did 2 community testing, not per se ourselves, but
Right.
the Found Care and the Quantum Foundation, along with Anquan Boland and the Fire Rescue put on one also. So that was a great event. We're getting people tested, and we're going to continue to encourage testing. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Commissioner Bowden.
Just to say thank you, everybody. I hope you stay safe. please, please stay safe. Watch for your family. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor Mervin.
Remember, I would just like to say, give a shout out again to the team that goes around to the different cities to distribute food. That has been very, very helpful for all of our residents. I know they go around to Belgrade, South Bay, and Pahokee locations. And I'd just like to give a thank you to the team, and they know who they are, and all of the volunteers that comes out and help with that. Because I know that during this time, that is a great help, and where we fall short, that little food, it does help. So I just give a shout out to that. Also to our 2020 graduates, I want to say, we know it's a difficult time that we're in right now, but that you made it, you did it, and congratulations from the city of Pahokee. Good night and be safe.
Great. Okay, having all business come before us complete, I'll now adjourn this meeting. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.